Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talking Leadership. So before we jump in, I just want to clarify that these videos are meant for people at every stage of their leadership journey. They are not exclusive just to senior leaders and executives. So what that also means is that some of you watching, while you may lead a team or a group or a division, you also have a boss that you report directly to. So that means that one of the skill sets that is really important to you as a leader is being able to lead up within the organization. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get started. How many times have you been in a situation where your boss comes to you and says, hey, I want to take on a new initiative, or I want you to divert some time and attention over to here, or I want you to try something new. And in your mind, as the frontline leader, there are some red flags going up. You're not really on board. You're not agreeing with what you're being told by your boss. But rather than just react and have a negative reaction where you say, well, we can't do it because of X, Y, and Z, the best way to approach a situation like that is to make it your goal to really and truly understand the intent of what they're asking you to do and why they're asking you to do it. So this is really an example of the way that you can push back a little bit on your boss, maybe disagree, but not in a negative way, a way that you're actually seen as being more thorough and thoughtful and having the greater interests of the company in mind. So let's go through a quick example. Let's say that your boss comes to you and says, hey, I just got out of an executive meeting and we talked about the need to produce more while reducing our defect rates. As the frontline leader, you're already thinking like, man, my production is at max capacity. I have manpower issues, and how are we going to get this done? Like, it's not really adding up. So rather than snapping back at your boss and saying, well, don't you think if we could produce faster and have fewer defects, we would already be doing it? You could probably agree that that's not the best way to do this. So instead, what you want to do is go through some thoughtful and genuine questions. Again, what you want to convey to your boss is that you are trying to really understand what they're asking you so that you can come up with a plan to deliver. Those questions may sound something like this. Hey boss, that sounds like a great idea. And would you be willing to or able to give me a little more context around what led to that decision at the executive level? What spurred that conversation? And also, what's the end result that the company is trying to achieve by doing this? That is going to help me to really communicate it to my people. You might also want to ask, what's the time frame for me to get this done? And what's the budget and the access to resources that I have in order to get this done? Because that allows me to better plan and come up with the right strategy of accomplishing this initiative. Once you've gathered all this information from your boss, what you want to do is say, my next steps here is I want to go back and talk to my people, come up with a plan. My understanding here is that we want to achieve X outcome by Y date at Z budget. I'm clear. I'm going to come up with a plan with my group and circle back to you for an approval. Once you approve us, then we're going to go ahead and do a little test run, and then we'll make any adjustments before we do a full-blown rollout. Now that you're armed with this additional information, you can now go back to your team and start analyzing what the request is. And once you've gathered everything from your team, you've put some plans together, now you go back to your boss and say, okay, boss, so I got together with the team, and as you know, in our current production environment, we're running 2 shifts, 5 days a week. We're producing X number of units per hour, and our defect rate is Y. We also have about 1/3 of our people working overtime. So if we want to hit those numbers, if we want to increase production by 10% and drive our defect rate down by 3%, what's going to happen is we need to hire 15 more people and add a 3rd shift. But there's a little wrench that gets thrown into the feasibility here, because the reason that we have so much overtime is because we're having trouble attracting new people, and our folks are almost drowning just with our current demand, and now we have an upcoming busy season. So I do have a couple alternatives for you to consider and take back to the executive committee. Alternative number 1 is that we take the existing group of people and we really focus in on reducing our defect rate. At least we're moving the needle in some way with what we have now. Option number 2, we get a little more outside the box with our recruiting. HR has been doing a pretty good job, but maybe I need to get a little more involved and really start to ramp up our recruiting efforts. The 3rd option is we wait for 2 months until our busy season ends, and we take that time to really think about our workflows and how we can implement that implement something new with our existing workforce in order to achieve those results. Now, when you're delivering bad news, when you're pushing back on something that your boss wants you to do, what you're really doing is providing him or her with information that they may not be privy to. They're not on the front line in the way that you are. So when you deliver that bad news, you always want to have some alternative action steps, because again, it shows you as being thoughtful and thorough. You don't want to just drop a problem on someone's lap without also giving them a way out of that problem. So this approach actually has 2 benefits to it. Number 1, you're arming your boss with information that they can take back to the executive committee. They can clearly explain where things stand and offer the options that you provided to them. So ultimately, you're making them look good in the eyes of their boss and also their higher level peers. The second benefit to taking this approach is that you are actually building greater leadership capital with your boss. You don't want to be the person who's always the naysayer, the person who's always saying why we can't get something done, as opposed to the person who takes the problem and becomes known as someone who is able to work out solutions. What that does ultimately is it gives you more freedom to operate and grow. So this is something that everybody deals with, and the goal here, once again, is to not react in a negative way with your boss, but to think about it, to respond in a thorough and thoughtful way where you can provide at least some alternatives and at least keep the train moving. Keep moving the needle forward in any way that you can. I would love to hear your thoughts. When your boss asks you to do something that you don't necessarily agree with, something that you see red flags with, how do you react? Is it best to not say anything and let the chips fall where they may? Is it best to just straight off deliver the bad news? Or would you rather take that thorough and thoughtful approach and provide your boss with all the information along with some alternative solutions to achieve the outcome? Give that some thought. Love to hear your comments below. Hope you have a great day and lead on.